while the other half are armed with a 300-kiloton W-78 Mark 12 warhead.
Speaking, Japanese, I'm not understanding a lot of that stuff, but I assume it's crazy.
While the other half are armed with a 300-kiloton W-78 Mark 12 warhead. Each warhead has around 40 times the destructive power of the bombs dropped on Japan in 1945.
Oh my god, talking about Japanese. 40 times... Did I understood that? Okay, that's insane, I'm sorry. What? Today I'll be reacting to how would the United States fight a nuclear war? Okay, this can be interesting, but before I go into that, let me ask you for one thing. If you can leave a like, thank you so much, my friend. This is the best way to show support. If you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You make my day. Have that in consideration. Now, link for the original video in my description, and let's play it.
It's been over 80 years since a major conflict has broken out in Europe. The result has left many with a deep sense of uncertainty. Nearly 70% of Americans surveyed by the American Psychological Association feared that we are at the beginning stages of World War III.
70% believe that. Look, my friends, here I guess I can share my perspective being European. Right now, Europeans are afraid of a potential escalation of this situation in Ukraine. And who knows what's going to happen in the next couple of years. There is also a lot of talk, and I'm not sure if this is true, by the way, my friends, but there is also a lot of talk that if Trump wins the next election, that he may leave NATO. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but at least there is that rumor. And for example, the military service right now in Europe, in a lot of countries, is optional. But European Union is having talks, and specific countries are having talks to make that service instead of optional, something that you have to go when you are 18. So that already tells you something, right? That we are preparing for a potential long war against Russia, even though, again, who knows, this is very speculative, but it's kind of crazy. And I hope, of course, America does not leave NATO. I understand maybe America is not happy with the amount of money that Europe is spending versus them when it comes to support this alliance, right? But we need America. You guys are number one. You guys have such an amazing power. And without you guys, I think it's impossible to fight Russia.
Prospect of nuclear conflict.
Did I explain myself well? My friends, English is not my main language, but I tried my best.
Once unthinkable is now a very real possibility. Today we're going to explore the unthinkable. How would the United States respond during a nuclear conflict? What's America's nuclear war plan? How many nuclear weapons are readily available to the president? Where are they? What are their targets? How many missiles would be launched? How many casualties could we expect after American bombs reach their destinations? What would the world look like going forward? And most importantly, could the United States win a global nuclear war? The United States operates under a nuclear triad, consisting of land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs, sea-based submarines armed with submarine-launched ballistic missiles, or SLBMs, and air-based strategic bombers, carrying gravity bombs and air-launched nuclear cruise missiles. Now let's take a look at each part of America's triad and its weapon delivery systems. The first and most well-known part of America's nuclear triad is its land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles, or ICBMs. The US has 400 LGM-30 Minuteman III ICBMs that are launched via silos.
Holy. How far can this go?
These 400 missiles have a range of over 6,000 miles and have near pinpoint accuracy. When launched at 3 strays...
Pinpoint? Oh, no. Okay, no, it actually is real, right? Oh, wow, that's insane. This is so scary, my friends.
Minuteman III travels at speeds of over 15,000 miles per hour, reaching its target in under 30 minutes. Each Minuteman III missile carries one warhead. 200 Minuteman III missiles are armed with a 335-kiloton W-87 Mark 21A warhead, while the other half are armed with a 300-kiloton W-78 Mark 12 warhead. Each one...
Speaking, Japanese. I'm not understanding a lot of that stuff, but I assume it's crazy.
While the other half are armed with a 300 kiloton W-78 Mark 12 warhead. Each warhead has around 40 times the destructive power of the bombs dropped on Japan in 1945.
Oh my god, talking about Japanese. 40 times... Did I understood that? Okay, that's insane. I'm sorry. What? Oh, the destruction is completely... Oh, if the World War III starts and Russia, China, and America start sending this stuff, I think we are all done. Did I understand that correct?
Each warhead has around 40 times the destructive power of the bombs dropped on Japan in 1945. America's Minuteman III silos are based in 3 rural areas: the 90th Missile Wing at F.E. Warren Air Base in Colorado, Nebraska, and Wyoming, the 91st Missile Wing at Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota, and the 341st Missile Wing at Maelstrom Air Force Base in Montana. Each wing has 3 squadrons, and each squadron has 50 Minuteman III silos. They're collectively controlled by 5 hardened underground control launch centers, each operated with 2 military officers around the clock at all times. In the event that launch command centers are destroyed in a surprise attack, or the military officers inhabiting the launch command control centers get cold feet, these missiles can and will be remotely launched from an airborne command center, carrying out orders from the president. As with all things, there are advantages and disadvantages of the silo-based Minuteman III. Its primary advantage is that these 400 missiles make the most responsive leg of the nuclear triad. America's land-based ICBM force has remained on continuous around-the-clock 24/7 alert since 1959. They can be quickly launched in less than 5 minutes. America's silo-based ICBMs offer a strategic advantage as well. Due to their remote launch capability, an effective nuclear attack against America's Minuteman III silos will require at least 400 warheads, or 1 bomb aimed at each silo, forcing the enemy to use and deplete a considerable amount of their nuclear arsenal. But this
Damn, this is very well thought. I mean, makes sense. Americans are pretty great when it comes to war.
strategic advantage also highlights the Minuteman III's disadvantages. America's land-based Minuteman IIIs are inherently vulnerable, as their location is commonly known, and therefore silos can and will be easily targeted. As a result, in the event of a large-scale attack, the president would be put in a sticky situation. He or she would have to either use these 400 missiles or lose them, forcing a large-scale...
I mean, use it? Oh, no, maybe not, never mind. But I was thinking, okay, if they are going to get destroyed, at least, try have one chance, one shot, no?
retaliatory
You have one opportunity. Okay, never mind.
attack in response to perceived incoming warheads targeting American silos. With enemy missiles already in flight, the leader of the free world would only have 15 minutes to decide. And once a
Talk about pressure.
missile is launched, there's no turning back. The second arm of America's nuclear triad is its air-based strategic bombers. The U.S. Air Force currently operates a fleet of 66 strategic bombers. America's strategic bombers are organized into 9 bomb squadrons and 5 bomb wings at 3 bases: Minot
Okay.
Air Force Base in North Dakota, Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, and Whitman Air Force Base in Missouri. There are 300 nuclear weapons currently deployed at strategic bomber bases in the U.S. An additional 100 tactical nuclear bombs are deployed at NATO air bases in
Let's go, NATO.
Europe. America's bomber fleet consists of 46 B-52 Stratofortress bombers and 20 B-2 stealth bombers. The
The B2 is such a scary, plane. Oh, this looks like an alien spaceship or something, but this is the ultimate weapon of destruction.
B-2 stealth bomber can carry up to 16 1,200 kiloton nuclear gravity bombs. Each gravity bomb contains a massive payload of 150 times the destructive power of the bomb dropped in Hiroshima.
I don't know. No, this is not looking good, my friend. The reason this is not looking good is I suspect, to be honest, if you are American, this is looking okay. I guess you guys can attack first and we are screwed, but not you guys. Okay, yeah.
B-52 Stratofortress bomber is a long-range heavy bomber with the ability to travel up to 9,000.
But I have to ask this: do you guys think China and Russia also have similar, nuclear stuff? Because if that's the case, and maybe that's the case, actually, I'm sorry. If that's the case, I think we are all in deep trouble.
B-52 Stratofortress bomber is a long-range heavy bomber with the ability to travel up to 9,000 miles without refueling. The B-52 carries up to 20 AGM-86 subsonic air-launched cruise missiles. When launched, the AGM-86 missile can travel over 1,500 miles at speeds exceeding 555 miles per hour, using its independent guidance system to deliver a W-80 150 kiloton warhead to its target in less than 90 seconds. Each warhead contains around 20 times the destructive power of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The primary advantage of using air-based strategic bombers is that they can be called back if necessary. Furthermore, subsonic air-launched nuclear cruise missiles are a lot harder to defend against. When launched, an enemy force would have to counterattack each missile individually, making defense costly and complicated. The small size also makes them difficult to detect on radar. The primary disadvantage of strategic bombers is their response time. They take a lot longer to get in the air, and if air bases aren't on high alert, or if planes aren't already in flight, there's a high probability of them being destroyed in an initial surprise attack. This is particularly true for bomber bases located in Europe.
I never liked the UK that much. I'm joking, my friends, I'm joking. No, never mind. France is also good. And a bunch of other countries. I get the point, my friend. In other news, Portugal is safe. Let's go. No? So again, what's the conclusion? Go and live in Spain, Italy, Portugal, and I guess Greece.
The last and most important part of America's nuclear triad are its nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines. The U.S. Navy operates a fleet of 14 Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines. Each submarine carries 20 Trident II submarine-launched ballistic missiles. The Trident II SLBM is the most destructive weapon in America's nuclear arsenal. Each missile is armed with either 4 or 5 475 kiloton W-88 warheads. In theory, each sub can launch its entire 20-missile payload virtually undetected in under 7 minutes.
So basically, everything can be done in 1 hour, basically. If everyone starts shooting, in 1 hour, we are done. And we still have the rest of the day to enjoy. Okay.
When launched, the 3-stage Trident II travels at speeds of over 18,000 miles per hour, has a range of over 7,500 miles, and typically reaches its target or targets in around 15 minutes. Each warhead is guided by a multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle, or MIRV, allowing a single Trident II missile to deliver up to 5 warheads to 5 separate targets. Just one Trident II missile alone, armed with 5 warheads, has 154 times the destructive power of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Overall, the U.S. has around 70% of all of its warheads on submarines, and with good reason. There are numerous advantages of the ballistic missile submarine. For starters, they make up the most survivable leg of the nuclear triad. Ballistic missile submarines are virtually undetectable at sea. Their stealth design makes finding one an almost impossible task, giving pause to potential adversaries. With at least 10 submarines on constant patrol at all times, ballistic missile submarines assure that the U.S. can strike at any time, anywhere, even after a surprise attack. With each sub carrying an average of 100 warheads each, they have enough firepower to make just one submarine the 6th most powerful nuclear power in the world. In terms of disadvantages, there simply are none.
Oh wow, so submarines is the way to go. And yet, you cannot, in the ocean, good luck finding them, it's impossible, right? Well, okay.
When people imagine a nuclear war, the first thing that comes to mind is large cities like Los Angeles and Moscow being incinerated in a blaze of nuclear hellfire. While this would definitely be a likely outcome, the reality is that around 70% of the 1,800 nuclear warheads currently deployed by the United States aren't aimed at large cities, but instead at enemy countries' nuclear forces. To better understand this, we first need to take a look at America's current Strategic Nuclear War Plan, also known as the Single Integrated Operational Plan, or SIOP. First drawn up in 1950, the SIOP focused primarily on the Soviet Union. While today most of the weapons in the war plan still target Russia, other countries such as China, North Korea, India, and Pakistan are included as well. In this video, we'll take a look at a nuclear exchange with the only nuclear power comparable to the United States, the Russian Federation. This portion of America's nuclear war plan is called Major Attack Option 1. Major Attack Option 1 is the most demanding attack option available to the president. Should the Commander-in-Chief order Major Attack Option 1, the resulting attack would consist of over 1,000 warheads, targeting Russian nuclear forces, including ICBM silos, road mobile ICBMs, submarine bases, primary airfields, nuclear storage facilities, design and production complexes, critical command and control facilities, and civilian population centers.
This is really smart, but I think the Putin can do the same, right? He knows that things are coming. Let's also send ours. Basically, is nothing to lose.
Now let's take a look at a major attack.
I mean, there is actually a lot to lose, but not in his perspective.
Option 1. Its Russian targets, the American nuclear weapons used, and the overall outcome of an American thermonuclear attack on Russia.
What? Oh my god, this video was amazing. But then the guy makes the 7 deadly CEV cars on Earth. How can you go from this to this? But okay, great video. I wonder if there is part 2 or something. If there is, you guys can leave me that in the comments and I will react to that. Basically, my conclusion is America still ahead of the competition, but those things are so scary that I hope things really stay in peace, because I think we all lose right now, friends. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.